Okay, in this video, I want to explain to you why Salesforce gets so much hate from all of your employees, existing, especially new, and maybe even sometimes your leadership involved as well. The main people that we cater to before we begin this video are tech companies that are at or near 10 million ARR as a bare minimum. If you're above that, great, we'll work with you definitely. But at least a $10 million ARR minimum best fit us. With this information today, actually, though, anybody that is potentially running across this video, it's going to be relevant for you because this is about cleanup. This is about how do we organize page layouts? How do we get your data on the account, the lead, the opportunity? How do we get all that stuff organized in a way that it's super easy to use? The main thing, and I know this personally because we work with dozens of businesses now, but before even that, when I was one of the cool people on the inside at the company, people, had rapport with me that way, and I was part of the company. Even then, right, W-2 job, people would come to us and vent about how much they hated using Salesforce because you don't organize it in the way that it should be organized. It's just this giant junk drawer is the way I would like to explain it. And you get in there and you have no idea how to find your stuff. So this is likely what you're going through. Side note, I tried to find something that represented a headache, and rest in peace, Billy Mays. But whenever he would speak, I would get a massive headache from just him yelling at me the whole time. So have Billy Mays up here because all the other stock images for a headache looked ridiculous. So we got Billy Mays to represent a pain point over here. Don't mind my dogs if you heard that in the other room. Okay, so we have a cluttered page layout, like I said here. You have no sections. You have basically an infinite amount of clicks that you're going to be going through. You have a hard time finding your data, so you're doing Command F or Control F on literally every page you go to find the information. So ultimately, you bought this product, you spend a good amount on this. I've seen all the bills you guys pay for Salesforce. Licenses aren't cheap. So instead of this thing helping you, it's hurting you. Because again, you guys are treating it basically like this junk drawer. Get in there and you have no idea where everything is. And as you continue to build the company, you add fields, you add custom objects, you add to it, which you should. But as you do that, you don't organize it. So it's just, think of that drawer in your house right now where it's just like you're chucking papers in it and there's literally everything in there, pens and gum and everything else. That's exactly what this looks like a lot of the time. So that is likely what you're going through. We see it a lot. Why it hurts you is actually for some of these reasons over here. Don't use it. It's not being used properly. A lot of people complain about it, and it's not what they use the term user adoption, right? Which is people at your company, you tell them to use it and they don't want to use it. And so it's not helping you guys do anything better, which is a huge problem. There's a lot of complaining going along with that. And the complaining leads into these two things. When I mentioned it, they waste their time, the employees, and it's wasting your money because they're not doing their job like they should. So it creates this huge thing where you guys become inefficient internally because you're not using the product that you purchased, right? And then ultimately, everybody hates it. It's a massive pain point in the company, and it's slowing you all down and keeping you stuck at the ARR that you're currently at, whether that's 10, 25, 50, 100 million every year, right? So this is what this looks like. You're supposed to log into Salesforce. You're supposed to find this stuff quick and easy. You then ask yourself, is this organized? Yes or no? If it's yes, the job is done better. You make more money. Pretty simple. If it's not organized, they complain, they waste time, they waste your money, and morale drops. Again, can't tell you how many times a sales rep has come to me ticked off in Slack or to my desk when I was at companies and tell me how much they hated Salesforce because they can't find anything, or they got to do 900 clicks to close a deal. Right. And it's the same thing for customer service. How many times they've come to me and rant in a big group chat inside of Slack, telling us how much they hate it because they don't know how to find their case. They don't know how to find the relevant information. So it causes a massive problem that you just don't want to be dealing with. Okay. That's how it's hurting you. So how do we fix it? And this one, I usually just have everything on screen. I'm going to show you how we fix this. I just did this for a client, or we just did this for a client not too long ago. Really massive client, a big data migration. And so when we're doing that, we had to do a bunch of page cleanup. This is a, 1,000+ company, so employee company. So a lot of money, a lot of time it took to do this. And so we really had to break down a good process of how we would go about this. So I want to show you. So basically what you're going to end up doing first, or what we would do for you first, Very first thing that you'd want to do is you kind of just want to get this all out of Salesforce and onto some kind of sheet. This makes it easier to just see everything all in one view. Okay. So ultimately, with that company, as I'm using as an example, we took all of their fields from all of their page layouts. So down here, I'm only going to show you accounts as an example, but we literally had every single one of them, like all the major ones they would use: opportunities, leads, cases, and then all those custom objects that they had created. And we put it all out here. We wrote up all their fields, when they were created, who they were created by, their last, and this can get huge, right? And it was like massive, clear out to, the end of this column. And so you had all this information to basically look at it, which you should do. As a bare minimum, here's some ideas, right? You'd have your field name, you'd have the type of field it is, when it was created, when it was last modified, the usage. You can pull this from a cool tool inside of Salesforce App Exchange called Field Trip, and it basically tells you how many times this is populated on all of your Salesforce records. Or in other words, basically just tells you how much you're using that field. And then over here, right, we would have on this new section, I thought I was on the old one, I'm sorry, would have like where you want this to go. So let's actually start off with this one. Over here, you wouldn't know that yet. Don't have a section for it. So same data, you just don't know where the section is, okay? So from there, this is what you can then start to see as you're looking through this, right? Is I've highlighted these ahead of time for us, but these ones down here where you got 20, 10%, 15, 5%, 8%. Okay, I've tagged these red where it's like anything under 20% in my threshold is saying we don't really use this. If you reverse it, 80% of the time, you're not going to find this field being populated. So this is a really good first step to first just see, okay, we got a bunch of stuff out there. What do we actually need? Like less is more in these cases, right? We don't need a field for every little one-off thing. We want it for the core stuff. And if you do create one for a one-off thing, if you're using it all the time, great. If you're not and it's 10% or less, probably not needing to be a field, okay? So we can highlight this stuff. We can see what kind of field it is. And then maybe if you want to get more crazy, you could even have something in here like a Salesforce link. So it'll link you right to where that field is. And then you could go and take a look at it, right? There's an infinite amount of ways you can organize and do this. I'm giving you a very simplistic approach just to get the idea across. You would obviously come into your business with a tailored approach, talk to you guys, figure out what it is that your ultimate end goal is, and then, organize this whole idea from start to finish for you. Simple idea though is something like this, okay? Once you have that done, then you would look over here at your new page layout. Okay, so we still have these ones tagged. We would probably work with, the people who oversee these page layouts, who's using the account the most. Is it sales reps? Is it C-suite? Is it customer service? Who uses this the most? We get those top stakeholders in a room, do a quick call, right? And we figure out if we can actually delete these and put them somewhere else. Do we just store this information? Can we get rid of it? So you want to cut the fat, essentially. You want to cut out stuff that you're not using, okay? And then in this column here in F, this is where it makes it nice that you can organize this into a new section. I'm going to show you that here in a second too. I have my Salesforce pulled up on this other tab and I'm going to show you. Basically, you'd have a section here where you'd write this information in. So now when you go to a page layout that you're about to see, you're going to have core info, right? You'd have your addresses, you'd have system info, or whatever it is that you want to call these things, so that you can then, when you click on an account, just see the info. Okay, let me show you what that looks like over here. So inside of Salesforce, right, this is just a demo account we have, so there's no info. But you would have your section here, okay? These are what I mean by sections. So financial information that we care about at my consulting firm, right, would be like, has this company ever been funded? When did they get funded? What type of funding was it? A series, B series, whatever it is. Description, like notes on that. How much do they owe us? How much are they projected to pay us? Have they paid X amount? What is their open balance with us? What is their billable rate with us? Right? So this is stuff we would care about. That's all, in my opinion, deemed as a financial kind of take on the company. So I want all my financial information in one section. So when I come in here, I can just quickly find it. Core information is kind of up top, which is like their account name, parent account if they have one, the year the company was founded, what type of company it is, right? And there's some different options you can see. Are they a partner? Are they a customer of ours? Are they press? Are they investor? Their website, the industry. I won't go through all these, but you get the idea, right? It's basically organizing the info that's relevant for me. And you can change all this up basically two ways. And I'm going to show you those two ways, actually. Wasn't planning on this, but might as well. All right, so you jump into the back end. You go to this object manager. You'd click on account, since that's what this is. And inside of the account, you got page layouts, okay? And we can create numerous amount of page layouts. If you're watching this video and you're a tech company making 10 million ARR or more, you're probably well versed with all this art. So I'm not going to get too in the weeds on this with page layouts, but basically you just have page layouts for however many kind of customers you're working with. So if you have like, you know, a partner account and then you have like your regular client, maybe you have two page layouts. So only partner information is on the partner page layout and then all the rest goes to the other one. So you can create multiple views here. That's a little side topic and into the weeds, so I'm not going to go into it, but we would then jump into the page layout that you want us to organize after we've done everything on an Excel sheet or a Google sheet first, got all the approved info. And then this is where we can kind of start moving it around. So you can see in here, I'm kind of cut myself off. You can kind of see in here all of that info, right? So account name, parent account, year founded, all this. And all I got to do is I got to drag and drop it somewhere into a different section. And if I want a new section, you drag that. And now this would be called whatever you want to call it, new section. You click OK. And then I can take stuff from up here and drop it in, right? Okay, I'm going to pull this stuff in here. This comes with a couple columns. You can edit this to be a different way, but basically it's one or two columns, left to right or top to down. You can organize this kind of nicely, right? This is all pretty basic on this side, but you'll want to do this. Something else Salesforce now offers and has been offering for a while is zoom out, is the back end, which is like your lightning page layout as well. There's a couple ways you can get there. We can either go back here and click on lightning record type, or sorry, yeah. Let me hurry and go over here. Actually, I want to show you this one first. You can go to these lightning record pages here, though, if you want. The easier way, though, is if you click on this gear icon and you click on edit page, this will just bring you to the exact one that we're looking at. So now I'm on the back end, right? And it tells me you're on the account record page. This is in the Lightning app builder. And over here, this allows you to kind of do some fancier things. So this is what I mean that we would talk with you guys and figure out what you want to do, because this is where you can really get dynamic with a lot of stuff. So we can change your related lists a little bit better over here and what fields are displayed. We can show different tabs up here. So I have related and details. We can actually make one of these like the default one or not, right? So my default tab is related. I actually do want to change this in real life. I want to make it the details and I would hit save. So now when I go to an account, the first tab that I'm going to see is this details one, right? I'm going to click activate. Great. Assign as an org default. Next, save. Okay, so that's now changed. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff you can do over here. It's not really a video to show you all of these kind of things, but basically, as you can see on my left-hand side, I got all these kind of components I can kind of screw around with and put stuff on there. One cool thing that we always like to do is, like, if you want text to pop up on the field, for example, if the deal or the account is in a certain condition, let's pretend for ours, if they are, I don't know, an easy one would just be active, right? Like if they're not an active client, maybe we want some text to pop up here in red, be nice and bright, that would just say inactive client. Okay, and we can really blow that thing up, do like 48 text. Awesome. We'll center this thing in the middle. Cool. And we're going to bold it too. All right. So basically we have this text that says inactive client. You can see I have an active little checkbox here. I can set some component visibility on these things. So I can actually come down here and say, hey, if the field active, delete it, active, if I can spell it, there it goes. If this equals true, then I want it to appear. If it equals false, then I want it to appear. Obviously, if it's inactive, we want it to be inactive. So I'm going to hit done. And then you get this little orange icon letting you know, hey, this thing is, now has visibility applied to it. So it's only going to appear if certain conditions are met. So very basic example, but this is useful for, with some tech companies that are in like the fintech space. Sometimes they're working with clients that, or if they're in a certain area or like the spouse is deceased and they're managing their money, something like that. Then we have some of these that pop up that will say, hey, FYI, here's something really important you need to know. Boom, pop this little, basically a banner ad that pops up for you. But we can do that with any one of these components, and you can see there's a lot. I'll make a separate video on this whole thing for you, but you get the idea. You can really, really dial this thing in to be the way you want it. And that's what's so cool about Salesforce too, is it's so customizable, right? So every business is different and they allow for a lot of customization like this. The problem most of the time is you as a business owner, you don't do Salesforce, right? Or whatever your position is, if you're watching this, chances are it's not Salesforce. So if it's not Salesforce, you don't even know about all these capabilities. And even myself and our company, we have to keep up on this. They have major updates every year on everything that they do. So this becomes very, very tedious to always keep up on what the new thing is that they're offering. And we have to go through training every year to keep up on our certs. So there's a lot involved for us to just maintain knowledge as well as to learn all the new stuff they're always pushing. You get the idea. This gets to be a rabbit hole really quick. But if we hit save here, right, I'll show you this example and then we can kind of end this. All right, so I hit save. There's a little back button. We can hit our back. And after we hit the back button here, you'll then see, okay, cool, this is active. So if I uncheck this hypothetically, boom, this inactive client now pops up. So really cool, right? So a lot of customization that we do, and that's what we'd want to do for you. Dial it in, really get it to what is applicable for you, and help your new hires out. So that's your little Salesforce demo here, how we would fix that. Ultimately, this is the goal, right? We want you to kind of feel like this guy over here, the Joker with all this stack of money. They had so much, they just burned it all. That's how we want you to feel. I want you to win so big, scale your business to really what you want to see, to where this doesn't feel like you're feeling so small. I know that personally as my own business, always trying to grow it, get it to a bigger size, and feel like I'm not so constrained by feast or famine type mode. So want to do the same thing for you guys, get you to that place. So doing this, what we've seen as a great outcome, increased sales, right? You can get to info quicker. Your sales reps use it more often. It becomes a backbone in the company, so you get more deals done quick. Increase in customer satisfaction. Your CSMs are going to be reaching out to people that they need to, when they need to. They'll have all the information right in front of them that they need to keep up on. And then increase in visibility for the company, right? All of your reports, your dashboards, everything that's relevant to you guys inside of the company to keep it running is going to be more up to date due to you guys using it and actually having it as a backbone in your company. So with that being said, like I said at the beginning here, if you are a tech company at least at 10 million ARR, chances are we're probably a pretty good fit for you guys. If you click the link below, it should send you over to my Calendly, where we can then get on a quick call, figure out if we're a right partner for you. If you fit us, we fit you kind of thing. If that works out, we can get in here immediately and do something like this for you and quickly boost the morale, like I mentioned, and make it to where your business is a lot more efficient.